Who doesn't like that riff on a Monday, huh? We're back. Sean and Spin in the Morning, episode 47. Presented by Off Base Media. Monday, August 18th. A manic Monday, Sean, because we had a wicked weekend. A lot of things going on, a lot of things we're talking about. Every game matters, it seems like. I have an excuse to watch some random-ass games because shit just means a whole lot more in this time of the year. How we feeling?
Good, man. Well, yeah, like you said it best. Everything means something in the dog days of summer back here in August, because that's when people normally are like, oh, football's around the corner. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get a little sick and tired of baseball. Not us. This is my favorite time of the goddamn year, minus the trade deadline. This is my favorite time of the goddamn year. We got August baseball. Teams, they're dealing with injuries. They're dealing with whatever you want to talk about, like new managers at this point in time, and it all comes to a head in August to get ready for that September push and then October baseball.
Yeah, and we got a whole lot to get into today. I want to go over really quick. Oh, shit, not that. How'd that get there? How'd that get there? I want to get my graph up. There's my graph. There's my graph. Hey, and no one flamed my graph. Okay, it took me an hour to make. No, but chill. This is kind of what you were kind of saying, so I'm happy you said it. It's a good segue into my graph here. Because, actually, I wonder if I could let me share my screen really quick.
I got it. I can see it now, Spin. I pulled it up.
I know, but I want it for the people at home.
Oh, it's up.
Yeah, but I want to, it's okay, fuck it. I won't share. I want people to see my cursor when I go over the graph. So H to L is high, low. S to F on the horizontal axis there is start to finish in the baseball year. As you see, when we come into the year, at the start point of the year, I'm at an all-time high. And I want to see your thoughts on this because you kind of touched on this just now.
Mm-hmm.
All-time high, you're coming in hot. You're like, oh, yeah. And there's a little dip. It never goes down too far because it's still a good time of year. And it's summer or spring, whatever it is. And then, okay, nice. Then it shoots back up around the All-Star break. You're like, just when you thought you lost me or just when I was kind of going down, All-Star break. And then you see that little spike at post All-Star break, trade deadline. And it's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Then, honest to God, after that, I was kind of like, all right, dog days of summer, kind of yawning a little bit, wasn't following it to a T. And now we kind of get to where we are now. Shoots fucking up like a rocket. And that's where we are right now. That's my graph. Took me an hour.
Yeah, there's like a little – whoa, what the hell just happened? There's like a little lull in the bottom there, right? That's a couple days after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
That's a couple days. And then you shoot right back up because you get trade deadline, August baseball, September baseball, October baseball. Like it's phenomenal. That's a great graph. Great graph. That's a great graph.
This is my little line graph. Took me an hour to make that.
I like the start to finish of it.
Yeah. And I think it's only going to propel more because every game matters. Here's another thing. We got a lot of graphics today. Here's another thing. This is my Friday. We're going to get into our vibe check in a sec. We got a jam-packed show too. But my Friday, dude, so we have the terrible how Milwaukee, Cincinnati on Apple TV because I'm watching on the MLB package.
Yeah.
A couple things on Apple TV there. Texas, Toronto, Apple TV. Okay, fuck you. That's annoying. You got the Phils up. I'm quad doing it. I'm quad viewing.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Phils up. Okay, Seattle Mets. That was a notable one. But I have an excuse to watch that Atlanta-Cleveland game because at that time on Friday, Cleveland was a half game behind the Yankees in the wild card.
Yes, sir.
Like I'm watching that, hoping Atlanta plays spoilers, which they did. And I'm watching. Yes, I always want to root against Boston, but I kind of have an excuse to have it on in the background and hope Miami gets it done. Every game matters is the point, and it's just kind of nuts. All right, let's get into this vibe check. I don't know if you saw Shane Bieber rehab start Lehigh Valley.
Oh, in the Lehigh Valley?
Oh no, in Buffalo versus Lehigh Valley.
Oh, okay. Well, let's look it up real quick. That's pretty big. And
this would have been Friday. This was Friday rehab start.
In his regard, that's pretty big. He's been out the whole entire year, correct? Right?
Yeah, he hasn't pitched since the early part of last season. I saw he struck out Alec Bohm, but Bohm's back up in the show. But this was Friday. Strikes out Bohm. I saw Justin Crawford get a leadoff knock off of him and then get a caught stealing.
Yeah, he had 90 pitches. They're just saying he's looking like he's ready to come back up.
Uh-oh. So what's his next start going to be in AAA or his next start in the show? Does it say?
No, it doesn't. So 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 0 walks, 4 Ks, 90 pitches. So yeah, it does sound like he's ready to come back up.
90 pitches. Good for you, Shane. So that's a first place team that could get a little bit more lethal.
And that's a little Lehigh Valley team who's got a little spunk down there.
They are good, right?
They had a little spunk to them too.
And he shut them down. Well, yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing that you just brought that up. I guess we can talk a little bit about the Phillies. They just brought up with the injury report on Nola, blood clot, which is absolutely terrifying because that means he's shut down for the entire year.
For Wheeler. But no, they don't know, don't they?
Oh, he's going to be. I'm pretty sure a blood clot, if he gets surgery on it, it's 3 months recovery time.
Damn, son.
So it hurts. It hurts me. It hurts everybody. It really fucking hurts me though. But
there might not be a time there's still reason to have a little hope, I think.
No. There's no hope. Let's look at it. Hold on. Let me see it real quick.
This is Wheeler, by the way. Blood clot. Return to Philadelphia on Sunday and will undergo further testing Monday. So that's today. He's on the 15-day IL until we see what the further testing can be.
It's saying so the former team physician sat in with some fucking news program, and the problem is, in order to safely try and get back to where you want to be, number one, you have to get effective blood thinners for usually 4 to 8 to 12 weeks to 3 months to keep blood vessels open.
Yikes.
So the Phillies just lost their number one. They lost a potential Cy Young. It hasn't been great over here in Sean Welsh's head, dude. It hasn't been fucking great.
I mean, if you're going to roll out 3 for a playoff series, it doesn't absolutely kill you, but it hurts greatly.
Yeah, it doesn't kill you, but it just our entire demeanor or our entire identity just kind of changed.
Yeah, no, it's huge. I mean, the Yankees at the beginning of the season, they bring in Fried and everything looks good, and then Garrett Cole goes out for the year. So
yeah,
it's not like it's not like the rotation looks like shit, but it doesn't look as strong as as it definitely could be. Sucks
because Nola comes back up, gets shelled, and then you have now it was kind of a done deal with the 3 at the start, 3 at the helm. Now you're like, oh, we got to pitch Luzardo now. Ranger still goes to the pen. Ranger can come back into the starting rotation when I don't know. We'll get to it at a later date, but it was pretty wild. Hey, Bohm looked pretty good coming up though.
Did he?
Bohm looked pretty good. I'm pretty sure he went yard yesterday, had a couple hits, but he looked good, giving some more depth to the lineup and some more coverage in that lineup is much needed. So
good, yeah. And they split the series against Washington in a 4-game set. You kind of want to see them win that series, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Try to split it. I want to see your reaction on this check baseball.
Hold on, give me 1 sec. I got a stuffy nose. I don't know what's going on.
It's that time of year, babe. It's fucking dog days allergies.
All right, go for it. Let's see this shit.
Check baseball.
Oh,
Czech Republic.
Hold on.
What are they doing, Sean? What is this?
Hold on.
Is this what the kids are doing these days?
I don't know. Oh, what the fuck?
What is this?
Well, honestly, I can't really say much because my team did a little dick touch with one of their between Bryce Harper and Weston Wilson. They did a nice little ball tap.
Oh,
that looks like a full-on hump, though. I think that's classified as a hump. I'm calling that the check high five. Yeah, that's a cup touch.
Yeah,
for better. I don't even know if they're wearing cups.
No, I don't know what is going on here. Well, I think they won. They beat France. Is that the French flag at the bottom? So Czech beats France. Not that I give a shit about international play, but this came up on something on Instagram. I don't fucking know. Probably one of the weird accounts I follow. But this is like, okay, Czech beats France in international baseball. This is the only picture they had of the game, I guess. So I'm calling that the Czech high five.
Well, it's the Europeans, dude. They get a little weird.
Yep, that's the European high five.
It's the European high five. They get super weird, and that's that. I get that off the screen.
That's the European high five. It's like the low one.
A cup touch, if you would.
If you will. Yeah, they're like, okay, the U.S. and the Latin Americans, they'll be like spank each other on the high knees. Okay, good game. They just go for it.
Yeah.
They just go for it. So that's Czech baseball. So okay, not that I have a lot to say about Czech baseball. I don't think it's fair to like assume about someone or someone's culture just by like one image. With that being said, I'm going to assume that this is how every Czech person is.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
Okay, good.
That's fair.
Anyway, back to the show, like the MLB fucking shit. Cal Riley on Friday stands alone at number 2 all time for single season home runs by a catcher of 46, passes Johnny Bench, who he was tied with 45. He's currently chasing Salvi at 48. Sunday now, he hits number 47, so now he's one away from tying Salvi's record. Also, he's the only switch hitter. Only one switch hitter has ever hit more in a season than Cal. His name is Mickey Mantle. He did it twice, 52 and 54 home runs in a season. That's the record by a switch hitter. So Cal could pass Salvi like this, or tie Salvi, even pass Salvi this week in terms of just catcher records. And by the end of the season, when it's all said and done, he could very well pass Mickey Mantle's record for all-time switch hitters home runs in a season. Pretty nuts stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. He with Judge going out, it's now kind of a clear-cut done deal because Cal Riley didn't slow up, kind of thing.
Cal didn't slow up. Well, kind of, but not terribly. They're still coming. With Judge, I don't know. I think Judge might just be DHing right now. And what does he look like? He did homer over the weekend, but yeah, that he's one away from 40. So we'll see. So Cal's at 47. Judge is at one away from 40.
Like, I'm not trying to take away from Aaron Judge's numbers because his numbers are still absolutely ridiculous. But Cal Riley now has like a 7 home run lead on him. I'm pretty sure he's got 11 RBIs on him and stuff like that. So if Cal keeps it up in the back end, he's probably going to be the MVP, especially if he sets the record.
You think so?
I think so. If he sets the record for home runs by a catcher, if he gets to 55 too, it'd be pretty unbelievable.
I still think it's Judge's to lose. Now, here's the thing that makes it interesting, though, is like Cal currently leads in 2 out of the 3 Triple Crown categories. He leads in homers and ribbies. That does hold weight, especially when you put it that way. When he leads 2 out of the 3 Triple Crown categories, that kind of holds some weight. I still think it's Judge's to lose, but it's going to be interesting down the stretch. And Cal's set to kind of set some records. So he passes Johnny Bench. By the way, Johnny Bench, I think he's a little old to be still going by Johnny. And
you think
he should be John now?
No, it's the legend. It's the legend of Johnny.
I'm a little bitter on Johnny because I don't think he really advocated much for his former teammate Pete Rose. I think he's kind of shit on Pete Rose over the years, but that's fine. You can do that. Side note on Johnny Bench. I think he has a very young kid. How old is Johnny Bench's youngest kid? I'm gonna have to clear my history after this. Johnny Bench, I think, is a 9-year-old kid. He's 77 years old.
That's wild.
Someone can double check me on that. I think this guy's fucking.
Johnny should still be going by Johnny though.
Yeah,
it's a legend of his past. He still goes by Johnny.
So you're 77 years old. You can go by Johnny still.
Oh, 100%.
All right. Well, he's making babies, and he has like a
Johnny.
I don't know. Double check me on the 9-year-old kid shit, people at home. But I think Johnny Bench could be 77 with a 9 and a 12-year-old. I don't know. Double check. Anyway, cheeky bastard alert. We talked about some cheeky bastards last week. Was it last Wednesday? Well, Michael Harris could have been on that list. I totally forgot to mention Michael Harris has been a cheeky bastard. He might have the highest batting average in baseball since like July. He also has 14 homers, 14 stolen bases. One of the hottest hitters in like the second half of baseball. And he may or may not be a 2020 guy. And he started out terrible. And obviously the Braves, no one cares about the Braves this year. But they've been playing spoiler. And Michael Harris has kind of been the hottest dude in this lineup.
Cheeky bastard. Too little, too late, Mike. Little, too late.
Yeah, say the least.
He's basically, I think we talked about this previously. Like the Braves just got to kind of try to play spoiler, get some momentum into next year for their fans, that they're not just like hopelessly like going into next year like with this impending doom almost. Yeah. Like Michael Harris especially, and now Ozzy Albies both have to got to prove themselves, dude. They got to kind of prove themselves back once again, because obviously they've done it in the past, but this year they've sucked, and Michael Harris has been really turning it around, being that all-star center fielder that he should be.
Yeah, stud. Playing good ball. He's the reason why like his fantasy value is like high at the
It's
beginning
crazy.
of the year.
Yeah.
And then you draft him because I did draft him. And I was like, fuck this guy. And now it's like, well, yeah, he is kind of a guy that has multiple tools, and now he's shown it. However, so yeah, like you said, too little, too late in the grand scheme of things. But they have been playing spoiled. I think they're on a 5-game win streak, and they just swept Cleveland. And they played someone during the week that they
Mets.
they did. They played spoiler against
Yeah.
the Mets, and then they swept Cleveland over the weekend. Cleveland was a half game out behind the Yankees. Yankees sweep. Cleveland gets swept. Well, now it's 3.5. Suck it, Cleveland. And I'm gonna light a fire. I can't wait to go into the Cleveland shit when we get to cool, not cool. But let's just kind of, this is the last thing for their vibe check, and it's Max Fried. I don't know if there's definitely a reason to be worried about Max Fried. I don't know if we should go all in on being worried, but right now it is worrisome. Second time in his career, he's given up a career-high 7 earned runs. He did that on Saturday versus Sonny Gray. Now, the Yankees won that game and swept the series. Worried about Max Fried, probably. In the grand scheme of things, maybe you can believe that he'd be good by the playoffs, but you have to punch your ticket first, and he is your ace. So, yes, right now, I think you could be worried about Max Fried. Fried, since July 1st, 41 innings, 49 hits. You hate to get more hits than innings. 31 earned runs. That's a 6.80 ERA since July 1st. That's your ace, man. Hate to see it.
Yeah, Cy Young candidate at the beginning of the year. Definitely before July. He was talked about up there. You wanted him going into playoffs. He just needs to come back down to earth, man. He's a good damn pitcher. We know he's a good pitcher. He's obviously proved he can be a good pitcher with how he pitched in the beginning of the year. He just needs to come back down to earth, find it again, and then you guys will look a little bit better in October if you have him.
Yeah, because he's your number one. I don't think anything changes really, but you need him to be that guy. So right now, worrisome on Fried, but there's times to get it done. Okay, let's go to cool or not cool. Some of the weekend's best, some of the good and the bad from the weekend. So cool. Little League Classic was Sunday in Williamsport, last night in Williamsport. Okay, that's cool. Whatever. What's not cool, the kids had to watch the Mets.
What's even less cool is that the Mets freaking won.
Yeah. Ew.
I hate that. I hate that shit. God damn it.
That is disgusting. Poor kids. Because I think the whole Little League Classic is like it's a very intimate crowd. It's like maybe less. It's like 2,800, I thought I saw.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of. It's not big.
It's a small capacity, and it's like mostly all little leaguers. I hope their parents were there, but I think it's like mostly kids, and they gotta like sit there like with their team. Like it's cool for you're there with your little league squad, and you're just like sitting there watching the ball, but it's the Mets. And I thought I saw some kids from PA, like a little league team from PA, like Pete Alonso struck out, and they were like. He was walking back to the dugout. They were giving him the sword, something like that. So that's good to see. Show out,
kids. But I mean, it is cool that they get to see the Mets and the Big Dumper. Did you see his? Did you? I guess we'll talk about it in our next one. But he had the bat that said Big Dumper on it this weekend.
Oh, did yes, I did. Yeah,
great bat. Way to really embrace change over there.
Yeah, because that is part of the cool thing was Players Weekend. So that was like our next bullet point here. That is cool. But no, it's not kind of cool. There's a lot of cool things. Like Victus does a good job with the bats and the custom shit.
Yeah.
Whatever. What's not as cool is that they don't do those custom jerseys anymore. I don't know if you liked them or loved them or hated them. Like I didn't necessarily love them for the Yankees because I'm an old school like that. But like they don't do the custom jerseys anymore because of Dick Mountain. Remember Dick Mountain?
I remember Dick Mountain. I love Dick Mountain.
For those at home who forget, years ago for Players Weekend, they would do like nicknames on the back. Like the players could write in what they wanted on the back. So like Aaron Judge would have been like the Judge, or I don't know. What did Harper do? I don't even fucking know. Like Harp.
I don't remember.
Whatever the fuck they did. Like you have nicknames on the back. Rich Hill, his custom name on the back was, I think it was D Mountain. For Dick Mountain, Rich Hill, Dick Mountain, and now since then, they don't do custom jerseys anymore. So that's things, but they do custom bats, custom cleats, and all that. So that is cool. But Dick Mountain kind of ruined it. I think MLB saw that and they were like, Rich, this is why we can't have nice things.
It is cool that they get to do all the other crap, which I mean, sometimes I wonder why they can't do it during the year, but I kind of get it, kind of don't get it. I think the MLB is a little stupid sometimes with some of their rules in like the cleats, at least. and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But that's besides the point. The jerseys were the best part. And Rich Hill, you motherfucker, it's an awesome nickname.
Yeah.
But for fuck's sake, man, like, I mean, I want like they had Mad Bum on the back of the jersey the one time, and
Yeah.
like there's a lot of really good nicknames out there that have been awesome to see on the back of the jerseys. But
Big dumper jerseys would have went hard, and maybe he had that back then. I don't know. This was like
probably
21.
not.
Like
Yeah,
maybe it was before he was big dumper. I don't
I
know.
think it was probably before, in all honesty. But motherfucking Rich Hill.
Dick Mountain, baby. Now he's forever known as Dick Mountain. But guess what? If you are gonna go out with a bang, and it's not
Yeah.
like he went out with D Mountain. That's great. I mean, those jerseys. I mean, if you want to sell jerseys, that's Dick.
Yeah, 12 teams. Yeah, 12 teams later and one awesome nickname. This guy had a put him in the Hall of Fame.
Put him in the rafters. Yeah, we retire Dick.
Retire Dick Mountain.
That's great. Well, so we talked about this a little bit. You touched on this. Nola returns cool and Baum too. So Philly's kind of getting more healthy. But as soon as that happens, Wheeler, not cool on Wheeler, blood clot. You kind of talked about it. I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about. Maybe specifically Nola, because I don't think he looked fantastic yesterday.
No, and I'm worried. I am worried because he hasn't looked good at all this year.
Yeah.
Beforehand, we can blame
him run support yesterday, right?
Yeah. So they ended up giving him the run support, but
Bomer
looked good. Cassianos went yard, but yeah, Wheeler blew a 6-0 lead yesterday. Not Wheeler, Nola. Nola blew a 6-0 lead yesterday, and Nola didn't look bad in his AAA starts. So that's why I was a little bit excited for Nola to come back up and be like, oh wow, we have we finally Wheeler goes down, but here's a little ray of sunshine. Yeah. Aaron Nola looking pretty good. Nope, psych, suck it, Sean. Your Phillies actually suck. No, I'm just kidding. That's too much. That's too ahead of myself. But I'm worried. I am worried about the pitching now because Sanchez is still great. Suarez hasn't looked fantastic at all after the
I would
break.
trust him in the postseason though.
Yeah, so would I. But Luzardo also, I don't know what the hell happened to him, but he's all over the place.
Also,
honestly,
side note on Luzardo, because I think his last outing is a similar theme. Thompson loves to just let him rock.
Yeah, and get shelled.
Yeah,
constantly.
He really does. It's a theme with Luzardo.
I know. So I don't know why Luzardo hates I mean, Thompson hates Luzardo so
I will
much,
say this about Luzardo. Luzardo's last 4 outings have been quality starts.
Yeah, no. He's looked better. He just didn't look like he did in the beginning of the year. In the beginning of the year, he looked like that almost that top rookie that they were talking about so many years ago. But shit, I lost my train of thought.
Was it on Nola?
Yeah, it was going to be on about Taiwan Walker, but I can't remember what I was going to say.
Oh, Taiwan's excellent though.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. It's like, do you now, if Luzardo kind of starts to shit the bed again, do you throw Walker instead? But once again, Walker's more adaptable and he could go into the pen. But we need people who are going to start games because what looked at one point like the best rotation in baseball now looks completely different. Yeah. And that's what's scary. That is what is extremely scary.
And Nola, really quick, 2 1/3, 6 earned. And that's when he had a 6-0 lead. And then that's kind of disgusting.
And it was against the Nationals. Like the Nationals just poured it on him yesterday.
Yep. I wonder what his next. So the Phillies actually, his next start might be against Washington. He might have a revenge game this weekend.
Yeah, because it would be the weekend.
It would be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do a quick Nola check while we're on the topic. Oop, that's Austin. Aaron. Saturday, it looks like he'll be home against Washington. So a revenge game at the bank Saturday. So maybe something there.
Right now, you can chalk it up to because we've been making a lot of excuses for Aaron. Before it was, maybe he was hurt. Now it's, he's coming back from injury. He needs to get his feet wet kind of thing. So we'll give him a couple starts, but he hasn't shown any glimpses this year of being great, being Aaron Nola, and that's what's worrisome. Yeah.
Let's go to, so that's what's not cool, but it is cool that he's back. You want to be healthy. You want your guys back, but you also want them to be playing well. Goldschmidt back in St. Louis for the first time since signing with the Yankees. That's cool.
Wow.
But he did not play on Friday or Saturday due to a banged up knee. Not cool. But he did play Sunday. Cool. And then he had a day. Standing ovation in his first at-bat. back as since coming signed with the Yankees. He goes 3 for 5, couple doubles, running a ribby. Good job, Goldschmidt. Always good when a legend goes back. He's past 6 years. I think he's known more as a Diamondback. 6 years with the Cardinals though. Won an MVP there, so he gets a standing O, and that's cool. I'm happy he played, and his knee, I guess, is better.
Is he multi MVP?
No, just one.
Just one? Okay, because I didn't know if he won one with the Diamondbacks or not.
He was always like in that conversation.
That's what I thought, because he was a beast for a long time, and you guys need him healthy and playing well if you want to play some good baseball in October.
Yeah, and he's ring chasing too, so he's as hungry as everybody, and it does create depth in the lineup. He had a good day yesterday. He's just a veteran. He does everything right. He runs well, runs the bases well. I don't think he gets enough credit for that because he's seen as a big first baseman guy, but for that type of player, yeah, he does run well. He does everything right. Good defender.
Plays good defense too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
Good all around ball player. Everyone likes Goldschmidt. So happy he got his moment back in Busch Stadium. Little standing O. Cool. Okay. We talked about this. This keeps coming up, but it's like the craziest thing ever. Pat Murphy pocket pancake. That interview took place on the 1st of the month, Sean.
That's crazy.
It took Milwaukee till the 17th of the month, which was yesterday, to lose after the world was introduced to Pat Murphy's pocket pancake. They're 14-1 since the pocket pancake interview, basically.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Really fucking cool.
Sick.
The pocket pancake. Maybe he forgot the pocket pancake the other day, but it just seems like they're gonna lose. And you know what's even fucking cooler? 5-game series between Brewers and Cubs coming up. So fucking cool. And dude, the Cubs are like 8 games back now.
Yeah. Ew.
And that's we're gonna talk about this later, but I think it's just awesome to bring up now because they can completely change this race right now in this series.
Oh,
they win 4 of these games. If the Cubs win 4 of these games,
that's crazy to think about.
That cuts their deficit in half. In half, Spin.
You're 8 games out, yeah.
In half, and so we don't get to see a 5-game series like ever. This is pretty nuts.
Yeah,
we're getting to see the whole rotation. The whole playoff picture right now.
5-game series is like as long as you don't get swept in the division round or wild card, like you know what I mean. Like you're not in the regular. Well, by the way, they're 8 games back. What's like a realistic expectation for that? Like I think
you gotta hope they win 3.
I think Brewers probably take like at least 3 out of the 5.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I think with the way the Brewers are playing, they're going to. But if you're Chicago, you gotta hopefully take 3.
Yeah. You really do. Well, more on Milwaukee here. There's since all that stuff, they're obviously been really great. They probably have a great clubhouse, and Pat Murphy just seems like a dude. 14-1 since the pocket pancake, so they're having fun and they're winning ball games and they're having fun doing it. Also, a new menu item at American Family Field dropped, and it's the pocket pancake. So they sell it at the thing. It's like a little pocket of like a cardboard pocket with like 3 pancakes in it or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
What's not cool though is all these ballparks. This is a little bit more broad. I have to really stretch it here because everything about Milwaukee right now is cool. But what's not cool is these ballparks keep changing their fucking name. Remember back when it was Miller Park?
Yeah,
I like Miller fucking Park for the Brewers. Now it's American Family Field. I'm so fucking confused, you know?
Especially being out in Wisconsin, being a beer is a whole lot better than being American Family Ballpark.
Yeah.
Especially out in the Midwest, Wisconsin people do it like nobody else does when it comes to drinking.
Yep.
They deserve to have a park named after a goddamn beer.
Yeah.
An American beer.
Yeah, our favorite beer.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really confusing now. It's American Family Field, like all these things, all their ballparks are these. I think the Braves have a new name now. All these.
Yeah, a lot of them keep changing.
You can't keep up with these fucking ballpark changing names. But it's American Family Field now. I liked it when it was Miller Park and Prince Fielder was smacking fucking bombs. And did you see this, Sean? Let me pull. We got graphics out the wazoo today. This was on Twitter. George Webb Restaurant free burgers because of 12 in a row. Now I think they got to 14 in a row.
Yeah, they got to 14.
So this was 12 in a when they got to 12 in a row. George Webb Restaurant in Milwaukee. They have a handful of locations, maybe like a dozen locations in Milwaukee, all around the tri-state area. They're doing free burgers, so that's cool, awesome stuff. But here's what's not cool, Sean. So 12 straight. I think every time this was a graphic via MLB Network. I think every time that the Brewers have had a 12-game win streak, George Webb Restaurant has done this. 87,
that's awesome.
So 87, but here, okay, it gets deeper. I'm really, I don't know how to believe. You got to maybe steer me straight. In 1987, I think they had a 13-game win streak. Well, it was at least 12. I think maybe 12 or 13 was like a franchise record. They just surpassed that, obviously, this year. But in 87 was the first time they did it. Approximately 168,000 free burgers given away. No listed price per burger, so it makes you think that they were free burgers. Okay, 2018, you got to fast forward. 2018, they had the streak. 90K free burgers and 100K free burger vouchers. And then it says $350 per burger, approximately $665,000 in free product given away. Okay, I don't really know what the fuck that means. 2025 comes around. After they just advertised, you guys staying with me here? After they advertised free burgers, George Webb, after they just advertise it, now it's saying $393 per burger. So well, are they free? Are they free?
They're free. That's the price that they are if they wouldn't have been free.
Gotcha.
Like three, you know what I mean? That's going to be the price, and then that's where they're getting like equate to nearly like 800,000 kind of deal.
Sense. I was going so deep into this trying to make sense of this. I was like, "There's no way." Yeah, that checks out. That makes so much fucking sense. I was like, "They're going fucking not free burger." Okay, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that's like such a logical explanation. I can't.
That's why they have no listed price per burger up top there because they just couldn't. They probably couldn't find it.
Okay, so George Webb restaurant stays undefeated then.
Yeah, no, that's a goat thing to do. That's pretty sick because how often does that happen? Like you saw, not really. It never really fucking happens.
Good. I was about to have a conspiracy on these motherfuckers, but I can't believe. Yeah, that makes so much fucking sense. I should have fucking knew that. Okay, awesome. Okay, good. So good for you. It's a whole ass party in Milwaukee. They still have to prove to win a playoff series, though. So we'll get to that. Here's something that's interesting. Your boy, Andrew Heine. So I don't know if you heard about this. He gets a bonus for his innings pitched. He's sitting at 119.2 innings on the season. His first bonus starts at 120. So he's 1 out away from getting 120 innings pitched, which is like a 50K bonus. And then he gets 100K for 130 innings, and then he gets 150K for each 140, 150, 160, for each one, every mark. He's sitting at 119 and 2/3. They moved him to the fucking bullpen though.
Yeah, the Pirates are a shit organization, and Bob Nutting is such a piece of shit that it's unbelievable that they let this guy still own a team. It's fucking unbelievable. They need to this guy needs to be kicked out of the league. It's almost like they have to do what they did with the Commanders owner. They got to sit him down and be like, you need to get the fuck out of here and let somebody else come in and run this. Sell the team. You can make so much fucking probably money selling that damn team. You obviously hate it. You hate your fans. The people of Pittsburgh are going to start to fucking riot pretty soon because I'm pretty sure they did this last year too with either benching people or sending them down to AAA.
I think you're right.
Just so that they didn't get their bonuses. How the fuck do you think people are going to come play for you like that?
Yeah. In their defense, and also kind of like goes against Heaney. They're not playing for anything, so I'm all about just letting this guy rock and eat up innings. He's 35 or whatever he is, so that's cool. In their defense, Heaney has looked like shit. I think in his last 7 starts, he's topped out at 80 pitches and has looked really bad. So then he moves to the pen. Like the numbers aren't in Heaney's favor, but at the same time, what are you playing for? It's Andrew Heaney. Let him get his flowers. He's 35. He hasn't really. I don't know if he's ever been an all-star. I don't think he ever will be an all-star. He's not like this guy. He made a little bit of a name for himself. He has a decent little career. He's 35 on a team that isn't competing for shit. Let him get his fucking bonus. Come on.
I think honestly, to me, it's just pathetic at this point.
His last time he appeared in a game, he got like 0.2. He went 0.2 innings. I think.
Like, are they bringing up Bubba Chandler?
Yeah, so they don't even know who's going to fulfill the role.
That's insane.
As of like over the week. I'm sure they know now. I'm not too
like if you're bringing up Bubba Chandler, I kind of get it, but I also don't even think they have 5 starters right now.
I have no idea because they traded some. I think Bailey Falter got dealt, didn't he?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. Today's a Paul Skeens day, so if you're talking when you're talking about Pirates starting pitching, might as well bring that up. But
he is such a piece of shit. Bob Nutting is such a fucking asshole.
Yeah, because he was pacing to do. He's at 119.2. He got 0.2 innings so 2 outs of an inning, gave up like a run out of the bullpen. So that was his last appearance. But you like to believe that he was pacing to get that 130 inning bonus, which is 100K. And now it's going to be tough to do. He can get to 120, but it's going to be tough to get to 130 now that he's basically out of the pen.
Yeah, he had what we got, a month and a half left. Like, he had a month and a half, and if you think about it, that would probably been what, like 5 starts
to get to not to 130, but maybe to 150.
Yeah.
Because 150 would have got him. I'm sorry, 140. 140 would have got him 150K.
Exactly. So if he has 5 more starts, he would have got there probably.
Yeah, that sucks for Heaney. All right, last thing for cool or not cool. Saturday, the Royals got over 500 for the first time since June 10th. They got to 62 and 61. Now they're 63 and 61 because they won yesterday. That's cool. Cleveland, you probably don't think it's cool. Fuck you, Cleveland, and fuck that one fan from TikTok who kept leaving comments on our shit. Atlanta playing spoiler. I think they were in Cleveland when they did it, right? Or maybe I don't know where Atlanta was, but Atlanta playing spoiler. Do you want to pull up these?
Yeah, pull them up.
And this dude, I don't know. We really struck a nerve with this guy.
Well, listen. Once again, we say it all the time. There's nothing better to do in Cleveland, and I can respect a Cleveland Guardians fan because he's really been through some shit. He's seen some things with this guy, with this team, but I don't want this team in the fucking playoffs. I don't want to watch the Cleveland Guardians in October. I'm sorry, man. It's just how it is.
So I'm not going to say the guy's username because I'm going to give him no airtime, but this is basically what he goes. We had a take back in June. So this guy, he keeps leaving comments now. I love it. He's really struck a nerve. He keeps leaving, like, things do change from August to June. So I don't know if you've ever known that before. But back in June 7th, early June, literally first week of June, you posed the question, how many teams from the AL Central come out? And my take was 2, and it was Detroit, who was playing fantastic baseball, and then I had the Royals, because at the time, the Central was kind of hot. There was like 4.
Yeah, they were up in the air. The Twins were like one of the best teams in baseball.
Yeah, they just had that huge win streak. And Cleveland was kind of in the picture. Kansas City, I was probably the 4th team there, but I wasn't knocking KC. So I was like, KC, they were my pick to win the division. So I was not going back on my boys and Bobby Witt. Detroit and KC were the 2 I said. This guy goes, obviously clueless. Cleveland will make the playoffs. I go from my personal account. I responded because I was like, as a Yankees fan, I'd love that. So I want to say that for my personal because I'm the Yankee fan here. So as a Yankee fan, I love that. And he goes, Yankees are 3-3 versus Cleveland this year. So what is there to love? And I go, Yankees generally spank them in the playoffs. Which they do. So of course I want the Yankees to face Central opponents. The Yankees, I think the last 2 times Cleveland has been eliminated from the playoffs, it's because of the Bronx Bombers here. So there's that. Okay, whatever. Life goes on. Then he comments on the Twins. This was earlier this month, August 6th. So we fast forward to August 6th. There was a Twins fan who also commented, said, Twins are much better than the Royals. That didn't age well. But then the same guy who commented all that shit, he like responds to that comment and goes, Twins going to finish 4th, LOL. Then I respond from off base account and said, it was never the Twins. And then I'm siding with this guy. And then he goes, Cleveland isn't falling either. And then I was like, I go, how could I count out Stephen Vogt? And I'm being playful. Like, I'm agreeing with you. How could I count out Stephen Vogt? You know, like, respect to Stephen Vogt. He was good. And then he goes, you picked the Tigers and Royals. So clearly you did. All right, dude. Like, I'm literally on your side a little bit here. So now it kind of struck a nerve with me. I'm like, I just left it at that. I'm like, all right, buddy. You know, then you fast forward 4 days ago now, he responds to my response about the Yankees spanking them 4 days ago. He goes, predictions looking pretty bad right now. If 2 teams make the playoffs from the Central, it'll be the Tigers and Cleveland. Now, well, Cleveland's still ahead of Kansas City by a cunt hair, though. It is so close. And Cleveland just got swept by Atlanta. So,
and
by
now,
the
guess
way,
what? Cleveland's playing Arizona, and Arizona's been playing decent baseball.
they have Arizona to start the week.
Yeah.
So they're 3.5 behind the Yankees.
Never mind. Arizona has been playing decent baseball, but I mean,
Yeah,
I just hope they beat the shit out of the Guardians.
Yeah, me too. So thank you. Good job, Cleveland fan. And I'm not going to say his name because he gets no airtime on our program. Good job, Cleveland. Now we want to prey on their downfall. And I like Stephen Vogt. I like J. Rim. I like Stephen Kwan. You're making me hate them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love a city that has nothing better to do than watch sports. I
Yeah.
love it. I don't like LA. LA's
Yep.
got too much going on. I don't
Yep.
like LA.
Nah.
I love it. I love a city like Cleveland. It's got grit.
Yeah. It's
There's some
got grit,
grit in the city of Cleveland.
but you're making us hate you.
But you're making us hate you. So go
That's
fuck yourself, guy.
Yep. Go fuck yourself, guy. And Cleveland and Kansas City have Cleveland's 5-5 in the last 10. They just got swept by Atlanta. So spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Atlanta playing spoiler. Baltimore also in that conversation as they played spoiler with Houston. But Kansas City and Cleveland have the same amount of wins. Kansas City has one more loss than Cleveland, so they're just a smidge behind them. But if they can keep pounding, and we'll take a look at how they start the week. You said Cleveland has Arizona.
Yeah, Kansas City's got Texas.
Woohoo! So there's
and
that.
Texas has sucked too recently. Texas really fell off the wagon. They were looking real good for a while. They're 2-8 in their last 10.
Texas.
Yeah,
I know.
Not
They look
great.
like shit against Toronto. Let's get into that. Let's get into some of our weekend notables here. And we'll take a look at how the standings look. I know we touched on it a little bit, and we'll also kind of talk about how we got to what we look right now, because Milwaukee and Cincinnati was a big one. That was kind of the ship. The Brew Crew took 2 out of 3. I mean, I think a lot of us wanted the Reds to do it, or at the very least the Mets to lose, Reds to do something and make up ground. All in all, the Mets actually lose a game behind. They're 1.5 now behind the Mets for that wild card spot. Tough to think the Mets actually lose that wild card spot, and since he can sneak in, tough to actually think that. But
yeah,
I'm praying it happens.
it would be wild. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense in baseball terms, really.
Yeah,
Because you think about the Mets have such a better roster in general. Like
or maybe it would make sense because anyone could really do anything.
I know the Mets could always Met and lose this playoff spot, which I think would be absolutely hilarious after signing Juan Soto to the contract that they did. But the Reds pitching is unbelievable. We know that. Hunter Green back looks like an ace. Hunter Green's disgusting, by the way. If he could have stayed healthy this year, he's awesome to watch pitch. Just a flamethrower who can actually locate. So, but then, like, the Mets are so up in the air and have so many dysfunctional problems within that roster that they could damn well lose this spot.
I really hope so. Brewers had 12 straight series wins versus Cincinnati, make it 13. It was an incredible weekend, though, and a really good series. A back-and-forth, high-scoring matchup on Friday. Mizorowski did not look good. And Milwaukee pulls it out 10-8 in a back-and-forth thing. I mean, this is a team that doesn't say die, and we know that. Saturday, same story. A team that doesn't say die. Extra innings. Andrew Monasterio, pinch hit, 3-run homer, making a 6-3 game. Monasterio entered that at bat with 1 homer, 8 ribbies on the season. He becomes the hero in extra innings. They hold on to win. I think it was like a 6-5 in 11 innings. So, and then they went to extra innings yesterday too in 10, and Cincy walked it off in 10. But Andrew Abbott kept the Brewers at bay. But that's kind of what you think. Like on Saturday, it was basically the whole season or this whole second half or whatever you want to say about Milwaukee in a nutshell. It's who's gonna be the hero tonight. And on Saturday, it was Andrew Monasterio, who no one's ever fucking heard of. He had 8 ribbies and 1 homer entering that bat in like 38 games, and he becomes the fucking hero in a back and forth extra inning game. And they just have contributors left and right. Also, your buddy Isaac Collins, he's on the paternity list over the weekend, so they're having sex too.
Yeah, exactly. This team they're role players. How do you not root for a team like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a team that you want to root for. Like if they don't have any stars, their payroll is not crazy, like blown out of the water and stuff like that. They got homegrown talent, not even homegrown talent, but they took a chance on some guys like Andrew Vaughn.
Yep.
People thought MLB thought Andrew Vaughn was done.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what, guys? Andrew Vaughn looks like a fucking psychopath. It is absolutely.
He looks like an absolute nutcase.
Yeah, and he's freaking hitting the shit out of the baseball now. So, this Milwaukee team kind of said "fuck you" to the rest of the MLB.
Have you ever seen that one picture of it's like a Great Pyrenees dog that it got lost no, it was like it had a bunch of sheep, like there was like a I know it sounds stupid. Stay with me, folks. There was a house that had Great Pyrenees and a bunch of sheep, and a wolf came by, a whole pack, and ate all the sheep, and the dog went missing for like a little while. went out. It is thought to believe that the dog went out, hunted down all the wolves, destroyed them, single-handedly took down the whole pack, and then
Guys, lick
returned
back.
home. And then returned to home. And there's a before and after picture of the dog, before and after it seeked out for those wolves.
Mm-hmm.
The after picture of that wolf, it looks like it's seen some shit. That's what Andrew Vaughn looks like in his headshot.
Yeah, what a goat. He was over there in Chicago wasting the fuck away. Comes over to the Brewers and says, This is my time.
I'm gonna put a side by side. What did I say? Dog who hunted down the wolves.
Yeah, I don't know. I know which story you're talking about because I've seen that on TikTok before.
It's you have to like search like the before and after of this dog, who's now since seen some shit. I think it kind of looks like Andrew Vaughn. After he's seen some shit.
Yeah.
Before he's looked like a little innocent dog.
Well, I think we talked about this already. He was a top 3 pick.
Andrew Vaughn, yeah. This is the dog. That's what Andrew Vaughn, and then this is Andrew Vaughn.
Yeah, fantastic. That's great. That's great.
Looks exactly. I don't know. Looks exactly like him to me.
That's fantastic. That was a great analogy. Yeah, analogy.
Well, side note, Andrew Vaughn looks like he's seen some shit, and he's murdering baseball, so goes hand in hand. Speaking of the NL, hate the Mets, and I wish Seattle would have took care of business in Queens. I think they won the first game on Friday, lost Saturday, Sunday. It was a back and forth game on Friday. 20 total runs scored. Sean, Seattle prevails 11-9. Cal Riley becomes the first to 100 ribbies. I think that was Saturday's stuff. We talked a lot about Cal. We can't get enough of him. Cal 100 ribbies. Oh, so yeah. Side note. Cal Riley, career high for Cal was 100 ribbies in 2024. So he has been a 100 guy in the past, 100 ribby guy in the past. He did it last year in 153 games. This year, he got there in 120 games. So if you didn't know that Cal Riley was having a really good season, well, there's another thing. So he's just can continue to set career highs in just about everything. Seattle's bats went quiet for Brian Wu on Saturday. They lost 3-1. Nolan McLean, I think he made his MLB debut for the Mets on Saturday. He looked.
He had the little behind the back. Did you see that?
Yeah, ran a web gem, 5
1/3
scoreless innings, only 2 hits against a very complete offense. We keep talking about how good that offense is. He held them to 2 hits in 5 1/3. And fantasy, if you look up Nolan McLean in fantasy, he's a DH and starting pitcher.
That's interesting.
So he's basically the white Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, the Mets could use some hitting too. So why not throw a pitcher in there?
Yeah, anything's better than whoever the fuck they got DHing. But hey, every time I see Brett Beatty, he's hitting like 240 or whatever. But
I know.
Every time I see him, he gets hits.
And is he playing a little second now too?
I could see it because they shuffle guys around.
I know with like Vientos and stuff because I think he's playing a little bit more now. So, and I think they want Brett Beatty. I think he is playing a little bit of second, honestly.
I know Acuna was either hurt or sent down. I saw he did play this weekend. McNeil's been playing a little outfield, so I don't know what they do. I think they just have a little rotation. But Nolan McLean, I doubt he actually DH because Mike Lorenzen might qualify for that shit too. Like, I don't know. But ESPN Fantasy has Nolan McLean as a DH/starting pitcher. Maybe he's the white Shohei. He's the ginger Shohei. Anyway, Mets win the series of Williamsport, and we feel terrible for the little leaguers that had to watch the Mets play. Ew.
Yeah, poor guys.
Disgusting. Yeah, it sucks. Last year, the Phillies came to Williamsport. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
This year, it was the Mets. That's disgusting. Okay, Texas at Toronto over the weekend. Toronto 2 out of 3. And I don't know if we expected anything less from Toronto, maybe, and I don't think we expected anything more out of Texas, to be quite honest. What is there about Texas that makes you want to believe? Granted, they threw DeGrom on Friday, and he looked great, but then the bullpen blows it. And then they had Evaldi yesterday, and they avoid a sweep with Evaldi on the mound, so that's great. But when you roll those two guys out, especially when they both pitch great and they hold Toronto's offense at bay, you kind of want to see a series win and prove to yourself that you can go to Toronto and win in pivotal situations. But I think Bruce Bochy is just like, he's been a part of so many winning teams that Bochy looks at this roster and he's just like, this isn't it. Our bullpen blows too much shit. Bochy's like, I've won before, and this isn't how you win. I don't know what Bochy thinks. It has to be like it's bittersweet because in one hand it's like, well, we're not out of it yet. We can still compete. On the other hand, it's like, he knows what it's like to win. He's known what winning teams look like, and I think this isn't it.
It's a damn shame because when you talk about that lineup should be so much better than it
Yeah,
is. It should be so much better. But it's really their pitching that's been unbelievable for them this year. And guess what? Pitching can't completely win you games. You need a little bit of run support.
and
Like,
bullpen. You need
yeah,
bullpen.
and you need a bullpen. You can't have guys going 9 innings every single time out. So, like, DeGrom can go out and look like an ace like he always freaking does. But when you don't have bullpen and you don't have run support, it's a very team-oriented sport. You can't win it with one person.
Yep. And so that they lose it in a heartbreaking way because Toronto scored 4 runs to make it 6-5 in like the 8th inning after like DeGrom
Yeah.
shoved. And then the next day, Eric Lauer, who's a beast, by the way. I think it's Eric Lauer, right?
Yep.
Not Matt Lauer. That's a
No,
different
it's
guy.
Eric.
Eric is Matt like a
Matt's like, I'm pretty sure he's a
perv?
broadcaster.
Oh, okay, and perv.
Oh, I don't know.
Wasn't there controversy with him? Anyway, we don't cover that shit. We do baseball here. Either way, Lauer goes out, shuts them the fuck down, and I don't know who pitched for Texas. He got blown the fuck up because they won like 14-2 or whatever on Saturday. So after they lose in a heartbreaking fashion on Friday, they got crushed on Saturday. At least they came back and avoided a sweep. But have you any hope for Texas after this? I mean,
No.
You can't.
No, it sucks because we did at one point. They came out of the All-Star break looking pretty good.
Yeah.
And then sucks to suck. They just reverted right back to what they were before the All-Star break. So
yeah, and now they are 5.5 behind a wild card spot and under 500. Kansas City is ahead of them, and let's go KC.
And what also blows is I think this was both of our picks to win this division was the Rangers.
Yep.
And then what we didn't count, what we kind of counted out was it still is the Houston Astros division to lose, and Seattle looks a whole lot better than we both thought.
I'm looking at this. Okay, yep, there was some controversy with Matt Lauer.
Matt Lauer.
Yep, there was. This is Eric Lauer, though. You hate to confuse the two.
But we talked about him before we move on. We talked about Eric Lauer, stud, and he definitely has to pitch you come October because I think before we were like, well, these other guys, it was like what Barrios, Gosman, and who was the third? Bassett. We were
and Bieber is set. It may look good.
And now Bieber.
Yeah.
Lauer has to pitch.
I agree.
There's no way you cannot throw him, and if they do not throw him, they're idiots in my eyes.
I just think if it comes down to experience, it's a good problem to have. I hate to sound like that because anytime this shit happens in baseball, it's like it's a good problem that everyone always says it. Mm-hmm. But it is. I mean, you have options, so many options, and a lot of arms, and that's what you need in the postseason. It's just going to come down to it could also be a bad thing because sometimes too many options could kill you. You don't want to overmanage, but you do have arms, and even Scherzer has looked pretty good lately. Yeah,
but Lauer's got to be the one. He's been your best pitcher.
His numbers are fantastic. He's a guy that I picked up in fantasy because he was out there, had a good matchup, and he looked good. And he just continues to pitch well. I can't drop him now.
Yeah,
he's just
you got to keep him.
They got to keep him. We talked about a little spoiler alert with the Braves. Another spoiler alert. Baltimore, they took 2 out of 3 in Houston. Spoiler alert. I like when teams play spoiler. I wish. So this actually keeps Seattle not terribly bad, right? This keeps Seattle.
No, Seattle's only 1.5 out.
1.5. It could have been worse because they lost 2 out of 3, but
Mm-hmm.
Houston loses 2 out of 3. So Baltimore kind of helps in terms of being spoiler. And by spoiler, it's having Houston not necessarily run away with it. So they're spoiling Houston. You know, they want to continue to run away with this division. Seattle had a tough matchup. Houston had the more favorable matchup with Baltimore, but Baltimore not going down easy. And there was a perfect game alert on Friday. Did you see this, Sean? Brandon Young, 7 2/3 perfect innings before an infield single. This was Young's first win of the season. I think it's his first win of his career.
I think so too. This Orioles team's gonna play hard because they're young. Like they're still gonna out there and
I love your buddy Jordan Westburg. Your boy Jordan Westburg.
Yeah,
is that your buddy? I love him, man.
Yeah, he's been great. And then I like Jackson Holiday a lot. I'm a believer in Jackson Holiday, who actually put. I don't think it was this series, but it was this week. The first walk-off for them this year, Jackson Holiday.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, the first walk-off that they've had. But this team, you can't really count them out. Like they're obviously not going to do anything this year. They've sucked too badly and they've played too poorly the whole entire year. But they're still going to go out and compete. They're young. They want to be fun a little bit. So they're still going to play.
Yeah, and they competed. They went toe to toe with Houston. Not so much on Saturday. Oh no, sorry, maybe they did go toe to toe Saturday. Houston won in 12 innings. So they walked it off. I guess don't know the whole story there, but they battled, and then Baltimore absolutely shat on them yesterday. They won 12-0. They absolutely shat on. But it kind of begs the question, like much like Atlanta, we talked about the Orioles. Kind of like, is that what Atlanta and Baltimore's kind of their quote unquote claim to fame this year is going to be? A lot of people had both of those teams making the playoffs before the season started. They both obviously are disappointing this year, and they're not going to make the playoffs. But maybe their what Atlanta and Baltimore can do in 2025 is just be a pain in the ass, be a thorn in the side, play spoiler, and try to beat up on some good teams, because they kind of have the talent and the scrappiness and the somewhat of the culture to can go toe to toe with big dogs and playoff contending teams, but they're not going to be in it. So might as well just ruin everyone else's chances while you're at it.
Yeah, exactly. Like this roster, both of the rosters at the beginning of the year were like, oh my God,
Like
these guys are going
ready.
to be great. They're going to be so much fun to watch. And then they just suck. So how about you show it down the end here? And like the Braves should go into the Mets, go into Citi Field and sweep them. That'd be awesome. I would love them for that.
That'd be great. Let's get. Oh no, we have one more. This is probably the biggest one. Was Padres Dodgers. They're going to play each other again this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
This was in Chavez Ravine, and then this weekend will be in San Diego. But the Dodgers swept them. That is crazy. And were they tied for? No.
Padres had a little cup of coffee in first place.
They did have a cup of coffee in first. They had a 1-game lead before this series started. Now the Dodgers have a 2-game lead over them. So the Dodgers basically had to remind the Padres that, hey, you're still our little bitches. We're still the Dodgers. You know, like we're still the big dogs here. We ain't gonna just roll over like that. And kind of some interesting pitching matchups. Kershaw looked good. There was a pitching duel there. Michael King was supposed to go, but he got scratched, and he got IL stint got extended. Cease looked horrible on Saturday. I don't know if you saw. We hate Dylan Cease on this program. Yeah. He showed everybody why. He had like 5 walks in 3-4 innings. Snell looked good. Glasnow looked good. Darvish not so much. So I don't know. Are you worried about Padres pitching? Maybe it's just they ran into the Dodgers at home. They do have an opportunity to get back at them this weekend, so that's good.
I think there's too much to worry about. I just think the Dodgers are the Dodgers. Like they're gonna do this shit.
Yeah,
this is what they do. I
would be worried about Cease, but when you have King coming back eventually, maybe that's good. I don't know how much hope I have for Darvish. You have to have like Pivetta to maybe steer you back in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to believe in some of these guys. The best pitching, or maybe Darvish pitched, and I don't think Darvish pitched that well, and Cease didn't. I think their best matchup was Randy Vasquez pitched against Kershaw, and that was kind of a pitching duel, but the Dodgers did prevail, and Kershaw did pitch just a little bit better. But Randy Vasquez, I thought, looked fine.
It's really good for the on the opposite side, the Dodgers, to see Snell and Glasnow go out and shove.
You're really good, right?
Yeah, for them. They've been dealing with injuries all year. Glasnow and Snell being 2 of the big ones, because those are 2 gut punches to your starting pitching, your starting rotation in general. And now when you can go out and freaking Yamamoto, Glasnow looking great, and Snell looking great. Oh God. Yeah, that's terrifying.
That's a good point. When you have Snell and Glasnow back-to-back days and help you sweep a division rival, and this is the best rivalry in baseball, probably, Dodgers-Padres. They play each other hard every time. I don't know if there was anything crazy that happened this weekend, but there's a lot of flavor and
history
and juice and history on either team that they really want to go at it. And we'll see it again this weekend. I think we'll see Yamamoto tonight against the Rockies. So there's just another guy. Like the Dodgers have they went quiet for a little bit. Now they're on a 3-game win streak, and that they play the Rockies with Yamamoto tonight. You'd like to think that win streak continues, and they get back to their winning ways.
How has Blake Snell looked as a whole?
Good question.
It's 4-1.
Second start since coming off the IL. What is it?
No, yeah.
This
it looks like his third start.
It's his third, and he hasn't been bad all in all. His last 11 innings have been scoreless with 13 Ks.
Yeah, god damn.
He's been really good. He's been good he's been banged up, but
like if Blake Snell can get back to the caliber pitcher he was previously and just add to this Dodgers rotation, that sucks for the rest of the MLB.
And that was Snell against his former team too. And he went. What did he go, like 6 shutout innings?
And he'll go again this weekend, probably, right?
Yeah. Which I should have just looked when I had it pulled up. He would. Well, when did he pitch? Saturday.
Yeah. Friday,
It
maybe?
looks like it's Friday. This will be at the Padres against his former team, and this is a revenge match for the Padres.
Yeah.
So interesting stuff. And I know we'll get into our look ahead right now. And while we're on the topic, the Padres will start the week at home against them. So the Padres do have a nice little homestand, but San Fran coming to town. They can play spoiler where the Dodgers have the Rockies. So the Padres have to stay afloat with a little bit of a harder matchup where you like to think the Dodgers can just roll over the Rockies and then go into the weekend feeling pretty strong.
But so here's something about the Giants real quick that I thought of. It's like people are probably like, oh, Devers, wanted out of Boston. And now Boston's going to be in the playoffs and the Giants aren't. Well, guess what, guys? Rafael Devers probably doesn't give a shit that he's not in the playoffs. In all honesty, it doesn't seem like he gives much of a fuck about anything. So.
Yeah, his true colors really showed this year. I thought he was one of the best. I mean, he's probably still considered one of the best. In fantasy, he was one of the best third basemen in baseball entering this year.
He is one of the best pure hitters in the game.
Yeah,
like especially from the left side. Like
He's
an unbelievable hitter, but he just does not give a fuck.
Yeah,
that did show. So that it does blow to see. You're right. It does suck to see like one of the better people in baseball just show that they really do not care.
Yeah, it sucks because I was investing him in as a fantasy draft, and now it's like next year I probably would kind of stay away from him because he's kind of a fucker, and that ballpark that he's now in is not as favorable. Little look ahead, Milwaukee at the Cubs. We talked about this last week. Our initial reaction to this was kind of like crazy. I'm happy that we found out that there was a 5-game series in Wrigley. I'm happy we found that out while we were on the air because we were just like, we basically came at the same time when that happened. Found that out. But they have a doubleheader today, and they have a 5-game series. So I guess one of these doubleheaders is a makeup game from whenever, I guess. And it was a 4-game series, make it a 5-game. I don't fucking know. But it's Milwaukee going to the Cubs. They have a 2:20 start time. We love day games in Wrigley. Freddie Peralta, Cade Horton, and then they play tonight at 8:05 TBD matchup. But crazy shit, 5-game matchup. Started it at 2:20. That.
Tonight for both of them, they'll probably just go bullpen for tonight. But
you think? Well, it depends how game one goes, I guess.
Dude, Tuesday, Woodruff versus Boyd, great pitching matchup. That'll be good.
Woodruff Boyd, awesome.
Yeah, Mizorowski versus Colin Ray, and then Quinn Priester versus Imanaga. That wouldn't be that. But
no, I think that's gonna be sick.
You think so? How's Quinn looked?
Oh, off his fucking dick. He's off his. He's pitching his. He's great.
I know he was doing well, but is he still? He's still doing really well.
He's 11-2.
Dude,
he got roughed around. He had a rough around against the Mets, but a 3.48. I don't hate that because what is he? Your 4 pitcher? He's like your 4 pitcher.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you're 3. You're 4, but
anyway, this is a full playoff series
with some good pitching. Yeah,
it is a full playoff series in the middle of fucking August.
And I don't even hate Cade Horton tonight, to be honest.
No, dude. Let Freddie Peralta, who's dealing like an ace this year, sub-3 ERA, 14-5, 148 strikeouts on the year. God damn, dude. This is the stuff that makes me love August baseball, bro.
Yeah, Mizorowski's been getting a little bit roughed up at times. He didn't look good in his last outing. 5, he couldn't get it past the second inning. He got 5. So this is going to be a good test for Jacob on Wednesday against Colin Ray. And the Cubs certainly, I mean, they want to kill you. So we'll see how. But before that, I mean, I do think Freddie Peralta, Cade Horton has the makings of a good matchup because Cade's been pretty good, little underrated guy there. But for as much as we want to favor Milwaukee's staff, which is it's just totally fair to do that. Cubs can roll out some guys, and I don't hate Imanaga, I don't hate Boyd, I don't hate Cade Horton. I don't think it's as consistent as Milwaukee. Like Milwaukee seems like every day they're rolling out somebody, Cubs is like every other day.
Yeah, and this offense is not going to stay quiet forever. So guess what? If they want to get the bats alive, now's the time, man. Now's the time. You're facing off against the division leader at home, right? At home.
Yep.
They're facing off against the division leader. You can gain some serious ground right now.
Well, yeah. What if they just go nuts? What if the bats literally this is the time that they choose to wake up?
That'd be crazy. This could be like the best series of the year. In all honesty,
it could honestly be the most pivotal based on, because like the Cubs' chances to they could either gain a lot of ground and try to, really try to get that first place spot in the division, or the Brewers just take care of business like I expect them to I don't know how you think. I think the world would expect Milwaukee to like win at least 3 out of 5.
Yeah, there's such a chance for such an unbelievable swing here that probably won't happen, but would be so fucking cool if it did.
Because the Cubs can make up a lot of ground, or the Brewers can just continue to like they could extend their lead in the division by double digits.
Exactly. So this has the chance to have an unbelievable swing, but I can't. We'll recap. We'll definitely touch on this on Wednesday to see where we're at. But on Friday, this could be a completely different ball game.
Yeah, and there's a chance that by Wednesday, when we look at it, the series would already be won, and there still be 2 more games. But I mean, I certainly expect Milwaukee to take care of business here. I just do. Like I said, at least 3 out of 5. But if the Cubs take 3 out of 5, that's great. You don't need to sweep them really, but you do have to. Every game does matter. 3 out of 5 would be huge for the Cubs. Okay.
And then real quick before we move on to that, I guess we'll stick with the division. The Reds got the Angels this week, so that's just something to keep a note of.
Yeah, true. And Angels, not that they're good, but they kind of fall under that spoiler alert type of shit. Like, could they play spoiler? We'll see. Is that what that division looks like? And then the Mets have Washington. I know we're going to get to the Phil. Let's talk about the Phils next while we're on the topic of the National League.
Yeah.
They host the Mariners. But the Mets, while we're on it, because Cincy obviously wants to climb, see if they'll be in Anaheim. They want to play spoiler. But Cincy wants to climb, but the Mets have the easier matchup with the last place Washington team. So hopefully Cincy can – hopefully the Angels don't play spoiler. Hopefully Cincy can take care of business after they just lose the series. And then hopefully the Mets, they fall to an under 500 shitty team, and then Cincy can make some ground. Because I think everyone, unless you're living in Queens, I think everybody wants to see Cincinnati make the playoffs.
That'd be awesome. I'd love to see that rotation in the playoffs. I'd love to see Juan Soto sitting his ass in Cancun come October.
Yeah, I love that. Go to Philly though. What are your thoughts on this? There's some decent little pitching matchups here, and your boys are hosting the Mariners, who are looking to get back on track. They just lost 2 out of 3 in Queens.
Yeah, this is another playoff series right here. Seattle at Philly, both teams that are going to be in the playoffs most likely. Gilbert versus Suarez, Bryce Miller versus Sanchez, and Luis Castillo versus Luzardo. Yeah, this is all the makings of being a very good series. Philly's bats have been pretty good, honestly. Like yesterday, they showed up and showed out with the return of Bohm, deepening that lineup a little bit. On the opposite side, Mariners bats have looked pretty good as well. So they have all the additions. I hate that we have to play them now. We couldn't play them earlier in the year when they didn't have all these teams. But I'm pumped to see Sanchez pitch. I'm surprised he's not on MLB Network. They must have the Cubs Brewers on MLB Network.
No, oh yeah. Who knows? Well, I guess they want to do. I don't fucking know what they're doing.
But anyway, I'm hoping Philly can take 2 and gain some ground on the Mets and hopefully they drop at least 1 or it stays the same. I don't want to see the Mets gain any closer. Basically, is what I'll say here.
Yeah, 100%. Because no lead is really safe, and you lose your ace, and you want to continue to tack on. And
one thing that we didn't talk about, Durant, he's okay. He's okay.
Yeah,
Durant apparently is okay. Because thank God, because if he was out there in a non-save opportunity and he got hurt, I'd be calling for Rob Thompson's fucking head right now.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah. I get. Oh yeah, he hasn't pitched in a while. I understand that. Well, guess what? We just sent 2 of our top prospects for this fucking guy to be our closer for the next coming years. And if you went out and got him hurt in his first month of being a Philly, I'd be so fucking angry.
Yeah, but I don't know. You can't control those comeback. That would have just been really unfortunate, I think, more than just fucking.
And a non-save opportunity though.
Yeah, I don't know. But you understand why. I think everyone knows why. He hasn't pitched in 5 days, so you got to get him loose.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it
was the first thing I thought of too, and then I had to see his game logs, and I was like, okay, he hasn't pitched in 5 days. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. It wasn't and also, hey, I'm not mad at just trying to secure a win anyway. Anyhow, all these games do matter.
Yeah, that's fair. I do lean more towards that argument, but the little Philly shithead sports fan creeped up in the back of my head, being like, "Why the fuck is he out there? This is all your fault, Rob Thompson."
Yeah, it was. I think it was my initial thought too, and I had to search when was the last time he actually went out there?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I could see that.
But he's okay, so now we don't have to do it.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, well, now we can exhale. But what was your when we did X factors for the all the contending teams? What was your X factor for Philly? Was it their staff?
It was their pitching. And guess
Okay,
what? It's a whole lot different now.
it's a whole lot different. But the thing about Seattle and Philly, what makes them similar, especially in a series like this, when they go toe to toe, when Seattle rolls out three guys for three pitchers for a 3-game set, it looks like Gilbert, Miller, Castillo. Yeah, some guys have been hurt. Maybe some guys that haven't had the 2025 season as we expected them to, but they're still stud pitchers, and you roll them out, you feel very comfortable. Well, same thing with the Phils when you throw out Suarez, Sanchez, Luzardo. I mean, that looks really good in a 3-game set. Now you're going to see it toe to toe. My X factor was the bank in this time of year, bank in October, Red October, fans going nuts, and guess what? They are in Citizens Bank for this, so I think both X factors have a chance to come out and play here in like a mid to late August series against one of the best teams in baseball, one of the most complete teams in baseball. So that's going to be a fun series for sure. The most notable thing on the AL side, however, of course, you could talk about Seattle going to Philly, but the other thing is Houston going to Detroit.
Sorry about that.
No, you're
What were you
saying? The other best thing about the AL is Houston going to Detroit. Houston has their work cut out for them. Houston just lost 2 out of 3 from the Orioles. Now, Seattle didn't really gain any ground because they lost 2 out of 3 also. But Houston has a harder matchup, than they had over this past weekend. So they just lost them to the Orioles. Now they go to Detroit. Detroit has been playing really good baseball. Like they're 7-3 in their last 10, and they got to the 73 win mark. So they continue to stay as one of the best teams in baseball, one of the best teams in the AL. And Houston's coming to town, and they're trying to get back on track after losing 2 out of 3 to Baltimore.
Yeah, I saw a quote from, I forget which one of the Tigers players, but they basically were just like, yeah, we had a very bad stint for a little bit there, but we're a confident team. We know we're a good team, and we want to, basically get back on track. So, and they have 7-3 in their last 10, because we were talking about this probably last time we were doing this. They every time we looked, they were 5-5.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like they couldn't get over that hump and stuff like that. So the Tigers are playing good baseball. Astros are kind of all over the place a little bit right now. This is another playoff series, though.
Yeah.
So,
big time.
Another playoff series.
And we'll see if Seattle gains any ground. Let's hope that Philly can take 2 out of 3, and maybe Detroit takes 2 out of 3, and then nothing changes. Because I think, obviously, we want to see Philly play well, and you want to see them win the series. And I think a lot of us want to see a different winner of the AL Central, and I think we want to see Seattle kind of do it because they're kind of the more spunky team. Also, fuck Houston. I think it's a little bit like that. So unless you're from Houston, I think a lot of people are kind of rooting for Seattle. But I think the best thing that could happen is Phillies take 2 out of 3, the Tigers take 2 out of 3, and then that way nothing changes, and then we go to this weekend.
And then also 2 teams facing off in those 2 divisions, Royals and Texas.
Yeah, Royals. So
Royals
they can make things interesting.
Royals and Rangers. Royals could really make this thing interesting because who do the Guardians have? They got Arizona. So Arizona, we keep talking about spoilers. Maybe Arizona plays a little bit of spoiler to the Cleveland, because I would love for them to not just fall below the Royals. I think that would be awesome. Royals making the playoffs sounds a whole lot better than the Guardians making the playoffs. I'll say it.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, better pitching, lineup still better. I think I love J-Rom, but we love Bobby Witt here too. So.
Yeah, and Pasquatch, Salvi.
Yeah, Salvi too, and our boy Jacques.
Yeah, he's banged up. I hope he comes back and then gets a taste of the playoffs. It's always good when you see those young guys out there. And then of course in the AL East, Toronto has Pittsburgh, so you like to think Toronto's not going to fucking go anywhere. They probably sweep heading into the weekend. Baltimore has Boston, so again. Baltimore continue. I got to click the button. Hold on. Continue with being a spoiler alert. We'll see if Baltimore can continue that. At Boston, Yankees at Tampa Bay could be more of an interesting one because Boston has been playing better than the Yankees, and I think Tampa Bay is just better than Baltimore. So you like to think that Boston can take care of it. But I love to see a spoiler. And then the Yankees, who coming off a sweep, they have been playing Tampa Bay pretty well this year. Tampa Bay, 5-5 in their last 10.
Dude, you guys are only a half game back on the Red Sox right now.
Yeah,
so the Red Sox obviously they don't have a hard matchup in Baltimore, but
and they're home. And Boston
spoiler alert,
on the road. Yeah,
Tampa Bay is a little bit harder team. We know Kevin Cash is going to play everybody, especially division rivals, hard. So they haven't looked great since the All-Star break and a little bit before the All-Star break, but still a difficult team, and Toronto will most likely roll.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So if there's going to be any movement in the standings, hopefully, at least in the East, hopefully the Yankees and Boston can do something. Toronto still has a nice commanding lead, 5 games above second place Boston, but it's only I think can only get wider if Baltimore plays spoiler. Yankees maybe climb, hopefully, but Toronto, I mean, there's no shot in hell Pittsburgh. So, however, Scenes is tonight, so that's a fun matchup.
yeah, there you go. You got one, maybe.
Yeah, we'll give you one. We'll give you
Yeah.
one, Pittsburgh, but we're not tuning in too much for that one. Here's the matchup we will be tuning into. Fast forward, we'll talk about this more over the week, but just kind of get your, dip your toes into it on a Monday. Boston at Yankees, 4-game series starts Thursday in New York. And then
Oh, really?
And then, yeah, so it'll be Yankees, Red Sox in New York, 4-game set, which is going to be huge. And then Dodgers play each other. Dodgers Padres play each other again this weekend as well. So some of the bigger rivalries in baseball that are division rivals, everything matters. They're very close in the standings. We'll see that stuff for the weekend stuff. So if you need a little excuse to get through the week and look forward to this stuff, well, there you go.
It is, and also what we didn't even touch on earlier was the MLB. I think I talked about this last episode, but the MLB does a great job down the stretch having you play division opponents.
Yeah.
So, we're going to see a whole lot of teams playing a lot of people in their division. Now, again, you get to the end of the season and some games don't even matter and stuff like that. But, the Phillies, their next 3 series against the Nationals, the Mets, and the Braves. That's their next 3 series.
Wow.
So,
we thought the Mets is going to be huge. We thought the Braves would be better, but still it makes for a good matchup.
And guess what? Every single time you're what am I trying to say here? Every single time you play division rivals, it's a little bit harder. It's just a little bit harder every time you play them.
Another notable one this week it'll be KC at Detroit, but that's not till this weekend. We'll see how KC does. Who do they have before that? Texas?
Which one? Kansas City? Yeah, Kansas City's got Texas. Yeah.
I'd love to see them take advantage of Texas, start the week strong, because then they will have Detroit over the weekend. So let's go KC. That'd be crazy. Okay, so let's end the show like this. Let's end the show with a little out of the teams who currently aren't in it. Like you think of teams like Cleveland, Kansas City. You think of teams like Cincinnati. Maybe throw Texas in the mix. Outside looking in, those types of teams. Who has the best chance of sneaking in, or who do you want to see the most?
I'd love to book Kansas City.
Me too.
I would love to book Kansas City. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I just want them to jump the Guardians.
Yeah, me too, because of that fan.
Yeah, I think that the Red Sox and Yankees are going to be the Red Sox, Yankees, and Mariners will be the 3 teams.
Just makes sense, right?
Red Sox came out of nowhere. Well, not it came out of nowhere. We were kind of predicting that they were going to have a streak here. Not the streak that they had, but they've almost solidified themselves as one of the better teams in baseball right now. And then the Yankees obviously are the Yankees. Mariners made some huge trade deadline acquisitions to get to that point. Fuck the Guardians. They got rid of everybody. No, I love Jose Ramirez. I love Steven Kwan. Those 2 guys are awesome. I don't want to see the Cleveland in the playoffs, but I would like to see Bobby Witt in the playoffs. However,
I would,
but I don't think that happens. I just want to see the Royals jump the Guardians.
Yeah, me too. I would be fine if Kansas City didn't make the playoffs but finished ahead of Cleveland, just so that one Cleveland fan from the TikTok comments who are not saying his username, he gets no airtime. Also, though, even more importantly, maybe Mets fall since he gets in.
Yeah, that'd be.
Some of these things I just don't see, though, because with the playoffs, not really is, but kind of is. It's like the best 6 teams in each league. So when you look at the 6 best teams in the AL and the 6 best teams in the NL, I do think Cincinnati and Kansas City get left out.
Yeah.
But I would love to see both of them sneak in. But also, if Kansas City were to sneak in, who gets left behind? Oh, see, that's what's tough. So, okay, how about this? Kansas City to jump Cleveland in the standings. They both missed the playoffs. But Cincy jumps the Mets and enters the playoffs, meaning that the Mets get the fuck out.
Yeah, so on the opposite side in the AL, that's exactly what I want. The NL, I would love to see that. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think the Mets probably will still be in a playoff spot. But holy shit, would I love to see Pete Alonso, Juan Soto, Lindor not in the playoffs.
And what do we have? Mets at Washington. Fuck, you like to think that they do something. And that
Yeah, the Reds hopefully can handle business against the Angels, but
yeah.
like the Mets are definitely going to handle business against the Nationals.
This is why this time of year is so freaking good because there's no reason to watch Cincy Angels, but they're kind of right now there is
Now there is.
because
Now there is.
you want to see the Mets fall and Cincy climb, just for the sake of being Mets haters, which we are. But I mean, if you're a Mets, I think it's more. I can tolerate a Mets hater. That's not like it's a different type of. It's not like you're hating for the sake of hating. I think it's weirder to be a Met lover, for being honest.
It is. Fuck it. Fuck the apple. Who wants the apple?
We'll keep the apple in the hole. And hey, it was. How about this? We should have put this on. Cool, not cool. The Mets, they won yesterday, so they won the series. There was a couple home runs. I think Vientos hit one. That counts as a home game for the Mets, but it wasn't played at home. It was played in Williamsport. So guess what? Every home run they hit, the apple didn't have to come out. That's cool.
Good. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. They can play in Williamsport all they want.
Yeah, it kind of makes me like them going there. Well, anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We got a Wednesday show where we talk about these free agents coming up, and I guess amongst other things, because we have to recap some shit, because every game matters, and there could be so much movement in the standings. It makes for a fun part of the year. If you're into fantasy baseball, maybe your playoffs have started. Hey, how about that? But Wednesday, we'll see ya. Time to spin in the morning. We out.